Hey y'all, in this video we're going to go over questions 5 and 6 from your quiz study guide. So for question 5, we are breaking down this vector 80 meters at 42 degrees north of east, and we're breaking it down into x and y components. So to do this, you first want to sketch out your vector. You can either just draw the vector or you can draw it on a coordinate plane or compass or whatever you want to refer to this as. So we are going 42 degrees north of east. So east is the second word. That's the axis this angle is going to touch, and then we're going to go north of that axis. So we're going to go up like this. So that angle is touching that east axis to make the corner. And then our hypotenuse for this, or our vector, the magnitude is 80 meters, and then the angle here is 42 degrees. Right? That's your first step. Your second step is now to make this into a triangle that includes the angle given to you. So we're going to include that 42 degrees in our triangle. You're going to start from the same corner at the origin and then go, in this case, over east and then up north. So you'll always have your vector where it starts at the same spot and ends at the same spot for this. So they all point to the same ending point. Now your horizontal side is going to be x, your vertical side of your triangle is going to be y. Right? Now you're going to use your trig functions to solve for x and y. So for x, it's going to be your hypotenuse times cosine of the angle given to you, which is going to be 80 cosine 42. Then you type that in the calculator and you are going to get an answer of 59.5 meters. Right? And we're going to keep this positive since x is headed west, right? And we chose cosine because x is adjacent or touching this 42 degree angle. Y, on the other hand, we're going to use sine for because it's opposite or across from that 42 degree angle. It's not touching it, like its two corners are not that 42. So for y, we're going to have our hypotenuse sine of our angle. So it'll be 80 sine 42. And when we type that in the calculator, we are going to get an answer of 53.5, and it'll be in meters. And then we're also going to leave this positive because it is headed north, and north is going to be a positive vector. Right? So on to question number 6. So for question number 6, same deal, we're finding x and y components. We have this time a vector of 23 meters at 35 degrees west of north. So north is the last one, so that's the axis our angle is going to touch, and we're going to go west of it. So that means we're going to go head up like this. Our angle is going to touch this north axis, and it's going to be 35 degrees. Our magnitude of that, what ends up being the hypotenuse, is 23. So that's our first step. Our second step is to make it a triangle, so we're going to go up and over, remembering you're starting in the same place, you're ending in the same place. So your right angle is always going to be like along an axis, like out to the edge of the whole picture. All right, now your horizontal side of your triangle is always the x, the vertical side is always the y. Now again, you're going to use trig functions to find the values for x and y. In this example, or this problem, the x is now opposite, unlike number 5, x was adjacent, now x is opposite. So for this one, you are going to use sine to solve for x. So it'll be hypotenuse sine of your angle. So it would be 23 sine 35. And then when you type that in the calculator, you're going to get an answer of 13.2, and it'll be in meters. And then this time, our vector is going west. As you can see here, we've drawn it west. So as long as it's drawn correctly, you can easily see that. And when it's going west, we're going to make it negative. And this will be important later in the future problems that we do. So moving on for the y component vector, so the y is going to be adjacent to our angle this time, so we're going to use cosine, and it will be 23 cosine 35, and when you type that in the calculator, you will get an answer of 18.8. It'll be meters, and this is, we're going to leave positive because it is headed north, and north is positive, right? So that's how you solve for questions 5 and 6. If you have any questions, just let me know.